All right, new day, new video. I haven't posted since last week, but I'm still consistent. I just gave you guys a lot more content last week than usual, or the week before that. But I'm back, and today I want to talk about asking why and why it is important. I think growing up, especially ethnic, a lot of times we are discouraged to ask why, especially with elders and people in power or in authority or authoritative positions. And I think it's something we all get shamed for and something we all get told not to do. But the older you get, the more I'm starting to realize that asking why is very important. I am not going to do something if you don't tell me why I should do it. It's just not how I operate. I'm sorry. A lot of people get annoyed at me for this. A lot of people say I'm difficult to deal with. You just get either you deal with it or you don't. But I'm not gonna be told what to do by anyone unless you give me a very good reason as to why I should do it. I'm in control of my own body. I should be able to do what I want, how I want, when I want. You're not gonna tell me what to do just because you're in a position of power over me. And there's obviously people I respect and people I'm gonna listen to more cohesively than other individuals. But I think back to the point I was making, the whole idea that your parents or people who are older than you just get to tell you how to do things just because they're your parents or just because they're your authority figures or because they've known you a long time. I don't agree with that personally. I don't, and that's not to be disrespectful, and that's not to say that you should be disrespectful towards these people. Not at all. But I'm saying, if you want me to do something, if you're telling me to do something, please just elaborate and tell me why and what it is that you want me to do and why you think it's so important for me to do. I'm not saying every single thing I'm told needs a full paragraph or essay explanation, but I'm just saying, if you respect me and you want the respect that you keep asking for so badly, I feel like you need to start by giving it out. Do you get what I mean? Like, um, I think a part of respecting someone is being able to tell them the why behind things. It's like with kids as well. Like a lot of people, like you look at a kid, you don't really tell a kid why, not because you don't respect the kid, but the kid isn't old enough to understand why something would happen. But the older you get, the more you understand life, the more you go through life, the more questions you have. And if someone respects me, I would like for them to think that they respect me enough to know that I'm capable of understanding what it is they're trying to tell me to do. Now, don't tell me something if you don't think I'm competent enough to understand what you're telling me. Please just explain to me why. I think being able to say ask why. I think a lot of the time people complain about sheep and herd mentality, but the whole reason that whole mentality even exists is because of people that don't ask why enough. If someone tells you to do something and you don't have the backbone to ask why they're asking you to do it, or to at least figure out why it is that they're asking you to do the thing that they're asking, of course you're going to have sheep and herd mentality. People are just going to do what they're told all the time. Staying like a child and always asking questions is the only way to get forward in life. You can't get forward without being curious. You can't get forward without being able to ask the questions that people don't usually like asking. Just ask, and I'm not saying that you don't have to ask disrespectfully, just ask. Like asking questions consistently gets you into a lot of places. The questions that people usually run away from are usually where most answers you're looking for are. Asking why is very, very, very important. I feel like, not even just why, what, when, where, all the W's. I feel like they're very important things that you should consider doing more often, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, staying childlike, always being able to ask questions, regardless of how old you are. You know, when you're younger, obviously you get shut down a lot more often, but that's because you're a child. That's understandable. I mean, I wouldn't want to sit and explain to a child, a 5-year old that doesn't even understand English language fully, why I'm telling them to do something. You know, they wouldn't even understand it. But as you get older, I'm 18, 19, 20, 21 now. I think I know my way around. I think I understand things a lot better now. For you, if you can't explain to me why you think I should do something, unfortunately, I'm just not going to listen. If you take that as disrespect, whoever you are, then so be it. But I don't think it's disrespectful. I mean, if I had, younger figures that looked up to me and they were constantly asking me questions, I'd take it as a sign of intelligence. Like, okay, he's not just doing whatever I tell him he's doing. He's taking it in. He's breaking it down and he's asking the appropriate questions. If a child or a teenager kept asking me questions, I'd look at it as something to admire rather than something to shun down and tell him that, oh, you're being disrespectful. You should just listen to me because I'm older than you. Age does not determine wisdom or even intelligence. There's so many dumb people that grow up, like plenty of people who have no intelligence whatsoever, and they grow up. And this isn't aimed at anyone in particular, but I'm just saying, like, I shouldn't listen to you just because you're older than me. I'm not hearing that at all. Like, please just respect me enough to tell me what it is that you think, why you think it, and so I can get a better understanding. Like, I'm not asking you why because I want to counter you or be rude. I'm asking you why because I want to understand your way of thinking and what it is that you're particularly asking me to do. I think is very important. Emphasis on not being rude as well. Um, yeah, real emphasis on that. Is I think sometimes people get abrupt when asking questions too. There's no need. Like, you can ask questions safely, you can ask questions nicely, you can ask questions with respect. You don't need to be angry, you don't need to be annoyed, you don't need to be, unless someone's asking you to do something immoral. I don't see why you should take, you know, what someone's told you to do as an offense all the time. Just ask with care. There's no need to be rude. There's no need to be upset or angry. Just ask politely, ask kindly, but ask. That's the essential point. Just ask. You'll never know until you ask. You'll never know. You'll never know. And how can I ever do the thing that you want me to do properly if I don't ask the appropriate questions? I think as you go throughout your life, don't let anyone tell you how to operate or what to do or when to do it without a valid reason. I feel like I said before, that's how you create sheep and herd mentality. Just a bunch of people doing things because they're told to you rather than asking analytical questions and going, yo, why am I actually doing this? Even if it means just doing your own research and not getting the direct answer from the person that's telling you to do it, but just know what you're doing. Like, don't just do things because someone's told you to do it or because you've been advised. Like, you need have something to refer back to, if that makes sense. Have a reason, and even if it's just asking yourself why, asking yourself why more often. Like, why do I do the things that I do? What drives me to do the things I do? Not even just other people. I think one theme that a lot of people miss in their lives is the ability to ask themselves why. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why am I friends with these people? Why am I in contact with these people? Why do I like this person? Like, if you ask yourself why more often, you'll get a lot of answers that you didn't really expect or didn't even think to look into. And I'm starting to do that a lot more often, which is also why I think journaling is very important. It's just asking yourself consistently why, asking others why. It's not rude, it's not disrespectful. I don't take it as disrespect. If I ask somebody to do something and they ask me questions, I look at it as, okay, this person's competent. Like, he knows or she knows what she's doing. She's breaking what I'm telling her or him down enough to the point where she's asking questions that relate to to the thing that I'm telling. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'd look at it as a form of competence rather than a form of incompetence or a form of disrespect. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think it's rude at all to be asking the right questions. I'll never look at it as that. Why? Like, why should I do this? You know, and I think a lot of the older generation, I think we're growing out of it, but a lot of the older generation just expect us younger lot to just go by what they say because it's what they say. When I was growing up, I used to hear a lot because I said so. Even till now, it's one of the most annoying phrases I ever hear. Because I said so. What does that even mean, bro? Like, just because you say something, if someone tells me to rob a bank, I should just do it. Like, obviously I know, like, because you said, like, it's ridiculous, I think. Um, but yeah, ask questions, ton of them too. It's very important. It's very, very important. It'll get you far as well. And people won't push it, like, when people won't look at you as a pushover either. Like, if you know how to ask the right questions, people look at you like, oh, okay, this person knows what he or she is doing. You know, he's, you know, they're looking at this from a more analytical perspective. They're looking at the bigger picture here rather than just, you know, people that don't ask questions are the ones that tend to get pushed over the most. If I tell you to do something, you just do it because because I've told you to do it. Or I can tell you to do anything, you're just gonna do it. If you don't ever sit down and go, whoa, why am I doing what you've just told me to do? You're never gonna get anywhere. Like, you're just gonna keep doing things for other people, people pleasing, doing things because you're being told to rather than because you want to. You get resentful, you end up hating the people around you, and then the next thing you know, you're a miserable human being. You know, rather than if you sit there and you ask yourself, okay, whoa, hold on, I've been told to do this. Maybe if they tell me why, I'd have more of an understanding, whether you agree with it or not. I think people respect that. Me personally, I respect it, and I think a lot of other people do too. So that's essentially my message of the day. And yeah, new video next week. I hope. I hope. Actually, yeah, new video next week. Need to be consistent. And yeah, I'll see you a lot soon, innit? Take care. Peace, man.